Since when is 2 arms not enough? Hi everyone, this is Triple T, and as you probably can hear, I have a cold, but I hope you will bear with me anyway. Today, I'm taking a look at Cang Toys Brontosolid, their TALYL004. And as always, this is a magnificent piece of box here. You have this amazing illustration. I actually do like this illustration more than I like the bot, to be quite honest. You can probably see me in there. That's why I had to comb my hair. And on the back, rather lackluster. It used to be more things and stuff, but I like it anyway. You can see the 4 arms again. I don't really know the purpose. And you can see the alt modes there. And some information if that is to your liking. And of course, we have other sides as well, but that is just not as interesting as the bot itself. So let's go on, shall we? You get this little nice backgroundy thing. It looks really good. I'm going to post these as paintings in my home, actually, because that's how good they are. I'm just going to buy some frames. Yep. You get 2 collector's cards. I think this is the official collector's card, Brontosolid. Because you have some information on the back, some tech specs, and so forth. And this is maybe just a flashy, trans-agey, I don't know. It looks good. Both of them looks really, really nice. I'm not really a fan of this tilting thing, but it looks good. And they are about the same size, but this card is really much thicker and has a gold edge here. Very nice. You have a manual, and you can love it or hate it. I do both, actually, because it does explain some things, but sometimes you just look at the picture and it says rotate, and you don't really know what to rotate. And it actually cuts my finger, as you can see there. That is one of the pages. So, yeah. But it looks good. Good print. Very good print. But that is what you get with him. And of course, you get his humongous hammer. I'm going to transform it a bit just so we can get everything into frame. And this is how it looks. Very nice. These are rotatable if you want to. You can also rotate these around for some effect. Or maybe they just need to get out of the way of this little beam you need to have here. Because this does connect to his back. We're going to look at that later on. And you can, of course, take these off, and they will become the giant monster, almost troll-like hands. So, yeah, but they are really, really nice done. Look at all the detailing and that beautiful paint. Ah, I actually didn't see these before. I wonder what those are. Now, the manual here doesn't really inform me of what I'm supposed to do with stuff. There. Now the fingers are out and they are articulated, so you can actually grab stuff with it. But as I said, the manual doesn't really tell me every point of articulation or every idea that I can use. So, yeah, it is a bit of a guess how this is going to be a situation with this bot. I don't really mind, but at the same time, I would have liked proper instructions so I can actually utilize everything and have everything in the right order and placement and so on. But that's a hand. That's a club. And if you detach that and open this up, fold that back, rotate this around, and you can now just transform it into a backpack that will be sitting on the back. You need to put these on here. And depending on how you have angled these, stuff will be, well, proper or not. Let's just push these fingers in again, shall we? And here you have that little beautiful backpack that you can utilize on his little back. Now, this bot has a lot of detailing and a lot of paint and looks just sublime in every mode. The problem is these things. I mean, you can use them as extra arms and stuff like that, and you can actually transform them into normal arms because you have hands in here and so on. So I don't really know what these are for, because it would be so much cleaner if this was just transformable arms, and if these are the legs for the Brontosolid, they can just, be smaller and hang off the back. That would have been so much cleaner, because now he has just a lot of things that he shouldn't really need to have. If you look at the other bots in the series, they are fairly clean and they only have what they need, and the rest is accessories. Yeah. But let's get up close and personal with him. Now, what bothers me here is that this head is on something that doesn't really tab in. And it reminds me of my Wei Zhang oversized Predaking, because you had two heads, one on each side, and you had to rotate that around, and eventually it just sat like that. And I am already feeling that this hinge isn't as strong as it was when I opened it up firstly. So I don't know if it's going to be looser or if there's a screw I can tighten or whatever, but I'm going to do my best to keep him looking like this. Everything is, as always with Cang Toys, it looks amazing. When you're trying to rotate these, they are so stiff that the ab crunch actually comes into play, but more on that later on. I'm just trying to get everything away so you can see the bot here. And he has some nice feet, and they are really poseable. And he isn't really that back heavy if you don't push everything back, of course. So he can do some nice posing, and look at the back. This is unusually good looking in my humble opinion. This little piece is supposed to tab in like that to hold the arms, this little bar that hold the extra arms in place. Doesn't really stay there because as soon as I fold this, it just tabs out. But I hope you can see the back anyway, and this is where the little backpack is supposed to be. And of course you have those wings, or whatever you want to call them. I'm going to try and transform this backpack, actually. Maybe we can actually make things happen here. If we do it like that. As you can see, there is a bar holding these two together. And yeah, not my favorite solution. And now we can get the backpack on, if I'm not mistaken. There's something amiss. I don't really know why, because there is a peg there and a port here. So this should go on. Like that. And immediately he gets really back heavy, of course. And if you want to rotate these, you can, but the ratchet is so stiff. But there he is with his backpack on. And he is a mighty big piece of toy. I have to give Cang Toys credit for that. But again, I wish these were just the arms and those were just folded up into these, because that's what they do anyway, in my humble opinion. Now, for articulation, I'm going to take this off just because, well, it's going to bother me. The head, as I said before, is on this little thing that goes up and down, and you can actually make him look very much down to his chest there, up, and you can fold the head quite back as well. No real rotation around, to the sides of course, but not around, due to the fact that this is actually the knee for the combine mode, so it is fairly stuck in there. Let's fold that out, shall we? You have a very squeaky shoulder rotation. You can go out to the side. You can fold these little things out and about if you want to. And there you can see it's just pegged. It's pegged, people. Not screwed or ratcheted or anything, unfortunately. You have a bicep swivel. You have a double jointed elbow, so that's very nice. You have those normal Cang Toysy hands that both feel brittle and very good at the same time. The thumb jumps off all the time, which is a bother, but rather than breaking, I like them jumping off, even though it drives me nuts. And he can fold his hand out to the side, like that. Oh, God. He has an ab crunch. Not that much. I don't know if you can untransform stuff, so you get even more, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, this is so fun. You have a waist rotation. You should see this in my little set here. These just go around like a carousel. Looks quite fun. You have some really nicely articulated skirt pieces here. And let's move that butt flap up, shall we? He can kick forward all the way. He can do the full Motor Master splits. Badoing. And you can, of course, rotate the thigh. You have so much articulation in the knee, but the upper part is kind of difficult to actually hinge. But you would get the full range if this wasn't blocking your way. Like that. The foot is on a hinge back here. You can rotate it. You can't really tilt it that much. A bit, as you can see, but not too much. Because then everything just clashes on and untransforms. As you can see here, this is supposed to just stay in. So, yeah. Not much of a rotation. Let's look at these, shall we? You have a little butt flap here that we can just hang down for now. You can, of course, make these go up and down. You have a joint here. You have a joint here. And here you have a very stiff ratchet. But you can also fold that in, just so you can use those as arms. And I will be showing you that off in a minute or two when I catch my breath. And of course, these are jointed as well, due to the fact that this can transform into the arms, and you can actually see the thumb in here. So, yeah. And I do actually like these arms better than those. So, again, I would have liked them to just use these as arms. And you have the same articulation on the tail. Can you move, please? He's so, well, long. So I read somewhere that if you know what that is, it's 56 centimeters or something like that. I haven't measured, so I don't really know. You can, of course, hinge that. We are going to come to the head's articulation when we get to alt mode. If you, like me, prefer these as arms, you can use them as arms. You can also put these little things on his normal arms. Everything is doable. If you do, you have to fold these little things in. Now, to do that properly, you need to have the arm a bit on the elbow bent. Well, I think my fever is catching on because I can't speak properly. You're going to turn these in. Ah, I had the wrong elbow bent. Like that. Fold the fingers in, and we're going to tab that into itself. Like that. And you can see that the little thumb here is very loose. And we can, of course, cover this up if we want to. Now, this is going to be on the outside. You come to this little piece. You open this up. Like that. You fold this out. And you have some knives here that you are supposed to get to the outside. Like that. And this is going to be scooched forward. You can do that with this little thing here as well, but, well, yeah. this tab goes on top here. And this foot goes into that little golden spot. You just press that on, you press that together, and you hinge this up. I usually have that up like that so you don't see it, but this is the way it's supposed to be, actually. Like that. And again, you have those fingers now articulated and free. And this is the alternative arm, and you can see he can't really hold it. I'm trying to show you that you do something good. I'm going to put the other one on off camera. And there you can see him with both of those hands on, and he does have a lot of nice detailing on these two in this state. I like the knives on the sides and this little bar here and so on. I still have no idea what these are, but I will probably find out sooner or later. The reason why I haven't fastened this is because I'm going to show you how you change these out. Now, if you want these arms on the back and these actually as arms on the front, you can do that. And you start by getting these out and rotating them about. And as you can see, they actually fold into this little niche here. And that is good. Trust me, that is good. Let's fold that up. Let's get these red pieces scooched forward for now. His shoulder pylons or whatever you want to call them. Because we're going to get these arms out. They are tabbed in there for bot mode and there for Dino mode. Be sure to tab this in. Then we are going to hinge at multiple places here. I'm going to try to, like that. And then you can hinge those back. You get this down and in, like so, and then just push these back. And now we are getting somewhere. Unfortunately, when you do, you have to hold these red when you are articulating the arms here. I'm going to rotate these up. And this is going to be the elbow. And now we come to the fun part. No, not you tilting over. We're going to open everything up here. First, we're going to get that hand out, and this thumb jumps off constantly, so be mindful of that. Close this back up. Open this, and we have to hinge this forward for now. We're going to put this in here, close that up, put this in here, and now comes the tricky part because you're going to get everything like that. And then we rotate these backwards, and now he has a new arm. And why didn't they just do this? This is so much better, in my humble opinion. I'm going to do the other one off camera. Come to the back, angle that up, and now you have an extra arm. Come to the back, angle this up, so it actually holds everything together. If you want, you can just move these out of the way so they don't collide, like that, and then you can get the arm even higher up. But that is up to you. And here you have him with his 4 arms and everything that he... well, yeah. I can disclose that this transformation is making me very sweaty, so he isn't the easiest to play with, unfortunately. This can, of course, transform into his little hammer. You have to rotate this in, press that on, and here you can put his extra arms. But if you have him in this configuration, you actually need to fold the dino head away because he can't really hold this otherwise. He can't really hold it if you have the hammer piece on, actually, because, yeah, the hands aren't... Neither those nor these are strong enough. Because he's strong enough... No, he's not. But you can actually hold it like that, and you can fold these forward if you want to hide those little empty spaces there. He's going to stay like this in my collection, I think, because I don't like the other bot mode. So maybe alt mode or maybe this mode until I get the complete combiner. So we'll just have to see. But for comparison, let's bring in the wibbly wobbly slag, and I hope I can make him stand. And he looks so much smaller than him. He isn't really, but since these arms just go everywhere, he just looks so much smaller. As you can see. I should have maybe checked the pricing if he is much more expensive than him, but I don't think they were. No, I think they were about the same. And they, of course, have the same problem with not showing where things should be and stuff like that, but they also look very, very, very good. And this set is shaping up to be a really nice one, but since I'm not a fan of shuriken, I think I might just have them in Dino modes because those are epic. And here you have him in all his Brontosolid glory. And he is a very compact and at the same time very long bot. And you can see his little head here. Very cutesy pie. Very cute indeed. And the neck is very long, as we know from the other, well, form. His chest is very nice. You fold that down, so it's actually down here, which looks good. And, well, he folds up fairly nice. He does have some holes here and there, but, well, who really looks at those, right? There are a lot of colors, but they are fairly consistent with each other, so you don't really bother with them. Yeah, he looks good. He has some outlets here and there. He has some thrusters and some pylons and stuff like that. And I mean, from the back, he looks really good. He looks like a big boy. Very, very nice. From the bottom, well, you can see stuff. If you know what I mean. Yeah. But I do like this very, very much. Now, it is a hassle to turn this head. So, yeah. Because there is very little side to side. Without him looking like he is actually breaking his neck. Or something like that. And you can, of course, bring in this little backpack and you can mount it on his little piece there. And now everything is just as it should be. And I have to get his tail out of my set. And he is with everything he comes with. And I am still sweating from that transformation. As you can see, he is rather big and looks rather good. And I mean, that has never been the problem with Cang Toys bots. They do look good in every mode, but getting there is not as fun. And this was not as simple as their swoop, but not far from. And still, it just drained me, to be quite honest. I'm no stranger to complex transformations by this time in my life, because I have transformed a lot of these. But still, this just makes me want to go, not again. You know, that being said, in this form, he is very, very stable. Very stable indeed. Nothing really moves, where if it shouldn't, of course. So it's a good form. Do I like the engineering? No. Most places I don't. The bar that's connecting the neck and the tail, it's a cool gimmick, but I think it will break sooner or later because it's too thin to hold all that plastic together. So I'm a bit scared of that, to be quite honest. This pegs in fairly well, but you can't really lift him with it. Okay. We're going to look at him closer up and do the articulation at the same time. Okay, you have a little up and down, and the head is on a ball peg there. You can open the mouth up, and you can hinge this forward. This is more for transformation into combine mode, but still, you can. Every little piece here can be rotated. Here, you can go only up and down and a bit to the side, not much. Up and down and to the side. And here we have the alternate elbow joint here. So you can utilize that. You can rotate it so he can actually be looking back on himself if he wants to for some reason. So you can actually rotate the base of the neck quite well. But this just looks strange to me. These have the same articulation as the arms, of course. You can fold them a bit forward. These never stay where they should. So you can rotate these around. You have that little bicep swivel. You have that elbow joint and that little foot joint like that. And that's just on a ball peg. You don't really have anything at the waist. Nothing. You can angle the legs up or down. You can also make them go all the way around. Oh, why did I do that? You can angle these if you want it looking another way. You can angle these. There is a lot of things you can do if you want to. But why would you? Because this just looks best. You have a little knee joint here. Very stiff one. Like that. And you have a foot rotation, and the foot itself can go up and down on a little hinge here. And you can untransform him, and then all shit hits the fan. You have a little rotation in here, so you can rotate the tail, but every time you rotate these on those hinges, you have to give some support to those hinges, or you will just tear everything apart. So be very, very, very mindful of that. I'm not going to do that right now because I want mine, to stay as it should. And here you have again that alternate elbow rotation. So you can actually rotate the tail, and it's up and down and a bit to the side on everyone here. Just the two last pieces can go anywhere they want to. And you actually have a third piece here. So that is very, very nice. But that is it for articulation. Maybe I'll just have him stand like this. Because that wasn't too bad, actually. Now, I love all the tamper crafts on this. I love the gold, the red, the silver. Everything is just really, really nice. But I would have liked painted eyes, both on the robot and on the, Brontosolid? Brontosaurus, probably. I don't know my dinosaurs. I'm a language teacher. So, because this just looks dead. And speaking of the face, I think he looks like a rooster. I mean, this is so much rooster. This reminds me of that clown face on TFC Hunger that is about to be released, as of filming anyway. And they look like Joker, and this looks like a rooster for some reason. It just doesn't really, hang your head in shame. That just doesn't really feel like it should. It's probably perfect, but still, I can't unsee that, unfortunately. I wish I could. But the quality and paint is so far very, very good. There is nothing really wrong with him. Transformation into combine mode is a nightmare. It's very simple and straightforward, but it's very, very long, and bits and pieces don't line up and click into place. You have to guess where they should go, and getting these two into that little hole is just a nightmare. It is doable, but still. And there will be no storage for this pieces. So that is very sad, actually. But I do like this mode. It looks very, very nice. And you can pose him fairly good. I don't know if you can pose him standing eating from a tree. No, you can't, because the tail isn't bendable as it should. No, because you need to get that tail out if you're going to stand on your foot. So you can't make him eat. mean, no one has the problem making me eat, but apparently this just don't want to. Now for a scale comparison, I bring in my MPP-10, and as you can see, he just dwarfs beside this. I mean, this is a big boy. This is a really big boy, but as you can see, he's nothing compared to this one. This is such a massive, solid figure. Yeah. I'm not sure how to show you this more properly, but something like that, right? But of course, a dinosaur should be very big compared to Prime, so that's probably just perfect. And here you have it in combined mode, and was it fun getting here? No. Am I really in combined mode? Probably not, but I don't really care, because I'm never going to get this into this form ever again. I am so mad, and you can see things are just bulking out. This is so difficult, and there are no real, places for things to be, and stuff like that, so this is not good. This is not good at all. This is going to drag the score way down. I was going to give him a higher score due to the fact that, well, we'll get back to that when I get to my conclusion. But I mean, yes, it's a big, and there is my hair. Give it back. Give it back. It's a big calf, don't you think? Yeah. But still, this is just horrible. And I hope in the future I will be able to do this easier, but it doesn't really feel that way, unfortunately, right now. So, yeah, it does look nice, but still. And if you hang on it, it will support some very... there, it broke. But these aren't load-bearing, so that doesn't really matter, because the load-bearing piece is here. And if you hold there and press up here, it's solid as a rock. So, even if you don't get everything the way you should, and I sure know I haven't, it's going to support the combine mode leg. Hey. And just for size comparisons, you get how big this is. There you have MPP-10 again, with this trailing on his little back piece here. He's so heavy, his wheel won't spin. There are no places to put these on. Not that I know of anyway, but I mean, that would be even a bigger piece. So, probably hamper articulation in combined mode as well. So, yeah. Maybe not, eh? But it probably will be very nice when it is in that combined mode where everything just pegs in, and when you have that lucky day when you actually get things tabbed in and everything works as it should. Then it will probably just be awesome. Now for my conclusion, I really used to like Cang Toys toys. They were good, they were sturdy, they were just working as they should. Lately it feels like they're mass producing too much. The quality plastic feels thinner, the engineering isn't as good, the QC is definitely not there. And that is a shame, because they could have rivaled any other company. But this is just... there are too many variables here that isn't good. Getting into combined mode is just a nightmare, and 2 arms would have been enough, and these would have done just fine. You didn't need anything more, and you can always stash the little front legs on the back. There is possibilities to do this better, and they had those, and they didn't take it. But that's my opinions, of course. Some of you may just love this, and I like it. I like it very much, but not as I used to like Cang Toys. Every time I opened the box, I knew that this was going to be epic. Now I just see a difficult transformation where things break in front of me when I get a new Cang Toys toy. Now, granted, nothing broke on this one. The fingers plop off all the time. I think I'm going to start a new expression called plopping off like a Cang Toys thumb, because that would be very, very accurate. The paintwork is amazing. The tampographs are outstanding. The coloration, the posability is good. And he isn't that back heavy, which I was expecting him to be. I'm not really that happy with him as I should be. I think Swoop is the only one I was really happy with in this set so far. But his masterpiece score is 6. And I recommend him if you know what you are getting yourself into. If you do, and you are ready to face the music, go ahead and get him. Or if you just have to have the Shura King combiner, then of course, this is one of the best out there. If you get him just for him, no, don't. There isn't enough here to recommend him as a standalone figure, unfortunately, and that is due to transformation and combine mode, unfortunately. He looks the same as all the other Cang Toys. He has the chest and the crotch area, and the proportions are the same, so it's starting to be a bit of a repetitive pattern. There is nothing wrong with that, really, because it looks good, but still, if you want a more diverse looking set, then you should get another set, totally. But I guess that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care.